The night is dark and you are on patrol. You hear a roaring in the distance. However, this is not a lion's roar, nor of horses' hoofs, but a roar of a dragon. And in the end, all that is left is fire and blood. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back. So yes, dragons are coming to Mount & Blade to Bannerlord, and I am here for it. So today we're going to be taking a look at one of Block's most recent videos that he uploaded to his channel. I'll leave a link to his channel as well as the video itself down below in the description. If you're excited to see kind of how far Bannerlord can be pushed, make sure you subscribe to his channel because he really does test things and push the actual game engine to its absolute limits, like what we're seeing in today's video. He's also done stuff like this previously where he's actually gone ahead and created a fully functioning space battle mod, which again kind of resembles this in a sense of this flyable mount maneuvering and stuff like that. So that is really exciting to see him actually joining the Trials of the 7 team and helping them with this actual current mechanic in the game of being able to basically go ahead and control dragons. So very exciting stuff. In this video we're going to basically be watching parts of his video and just seeing exactly what it does have to offer. So big thank you to him for letting me show this off. Obviously, what you're seeing right now is very much a work in progress. These are the early stages of the dragon itself, just kind of showing off some awesome stuff that he is currently working on in its entirety. One thing that he did actually mention about as well is in this version of the video, the wing speed is just way too fast, as you obviously can see. That has actually been slowing down way before this was even recorded. So you can see that they're kind of testing stuff out, trialing it, seeing how it works, and then adjusting it as a whole. And I think, yeah, it will look way better if the wings itself were a lot slower. On top of that as well, I'm sure the animation stuff is just such a long, tedious process, but hopefully they'll go ahead and continue to work hard on it, making it look better and better. So right now, as you guys can see, Daenerys is currently riding Drogo into battle, shooting off fire, and the dragon breath itself will go ahead and continue to make its way to the ground. Depending on how high you are, high up you are, the dragon breath will always actually go ahead and connect with the ground. So it is actually really brutal. On top of that as well, there was a clip at the beginning. I'll put it up on your screen right now. There are actually 2 modes to this dragon mode, I guess, in battles and in the campaign map. You can either fly into battle personally on the dragon, or you can have the dragon assist you, and that just means that basically the dragon will kind of go off on its own and burn enemies in dragon fire, and you guys will be able to see that in a little bit longer. Obviously, this is going to be an extremely strong tactic when you take this into battle. The dragon itself just absolutely annihilates the enemy in front of it. Even if the AI are trying to dodge the shots, it's still going to be very strong as it kind of locks onto the enemy roaming around. So it'll be interesting to see how they do go about and try and balance this. If you guys have any ideas on exactly how they would do this, leave a comment down below. Maybe the modders will see it and try and take your advice. But yeah, you want, if you're wielding a dragon into battle, you want it to feel like you are an unstoppable demigod charging into combat and just devastating everything in your path. But obviously, again, you still want to try and retain some sort of game balance. I think probably the more obvious ones is to make it so that you can't use it every single battle, and maybe there's a cooldown depending on how many battles you fight before you can use the dragon again. That kind of is a little bit immersion breaking, but maybe the dragon gets wounded and you need to kind of wait for it to heal up. I don't know. They're just kind of a few obvious things which would obviously go quite a ways at making it a bit more balanced. So yeah, you save it for a big battle where you just devastate. I mean, maybe the dragon takes up a larger party size as well. So if you're going to utilize the dragon, you can't bring as many soldiers actually into combat. There's a few things like that, I think, which would be obviously be very good. Or the dragon just goes after a little while, and you only get kind of an initial kind of oomph into combat with that. So the next thing we'll be looking at is the actual dragon assisting you. So this is the other mode they currently have in the game. This is going to be a mode where you don't actually directly control the dragon with A and D, and you're not like directly shooting fire. The dragon is going to be completely AI controlled here and is going to move off. It's going to try and attack. And I think this is much more of the sensible way of kind of balancing into the game. The dragon comes on, it does some damage, and then maybe it runs off. I mean, it looks really good. It kind of really does give me Game of Thrones vibes of watching it kind of, you know, fly across the battlefield and into the enemy as if it was like the Dothraki moving in from the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones. It is really cool. Again, animations and stuff are very much a work in progress, and imagine them wings just going out a little bit slower, I think will really go a long way. And there you can see it going down, doing some decent damage. Again, that time, not doing that much damage. Again, another balancing thing could be in a situation like this, like maybe Daenerys actually goes ahead and calls this in. So like, you know, maybe she does something along the lines of the magic system from the Warhammer mod, or maybe the dragon only has so many breaths that it can come down. You know, maybe you get like 3 or 4 of these Dracaruses and then that is it. Again, there's plenty of ways I'm sure they could go about it, and it'll be interesting to see exactly how they do. And this time when the player isn't controlling the dragon, it doesn't seem as OP. Like, it's not getting them hundreds of kills. It's kind of coming in, shooting a bit of fire and moving off, and you can see it's not like completely dominating the battle right now. It would be very interesting if they ever got to a point where we could actually land the dragon and have it fight on foot. That'd be really interesting. Again, that dragon blast is like pretty deadly. You're killing quite a bit, but again, it's nothing too crazy. You know, it's getting some good damage, but it's not like completely devastating the battlefield. Again, another beautiful scene here. It just looks so awesome as you're moving up, and the fire in the distance looks brutal. Because again, I would assume if you end up fighting Daenerys in the campaign, she'll have access to this and she'll be able to kind of control her dragon and send it off into combat. So when you're fighting Daenerys, you're going to have to worry about fighting her dragons as well. And imagine if she managed to get all 3 of them in the battle fighting. That'd be absolutely brutal. I mean, I imagine they'll probably end up tying this in with like a quest where you go off and get a dragon egg, and maybe you can hatch it and have your very own dragon on the battlefield. But again, as I said, like it's not like the dragon is doing insane damage when it's AI controlled. So I feel like that is quite a nice balanced way. And then finally, when we go right towards the end of the video, you guys can see the fire pits just laying down. It really does look brutal. Gives me some Lannister convoy feels. I mean, that seemingly did a lot of damage as well as Daenerys just moves through a fire. But of course, she's a Targaryen, so dragon fire is absolutely nothing to her and looks really, really good. As you can see, the video itself says Daenerys can't be burned. I also imagine this dragon will also do friendly fire as well, so that's something to keep in mind. When the lines clash, you have to be careful. And having, you know, a health bar on the dragon, I would also, you know, allowing the enemy to be able to shoot arrows at it and really kind of send it away, make it vulnerable like that, could also be a great way of balancing it. But honestly, super impressive stuff by Block. He's done a great job here at creating this dragon and giving us a feel. A dragon rider would be very, very cool. And there you go. You can see right at the end, the amount of friendly fire coming in is pretty brutal, and Daenerys quickly pulls back her soldiers. So it goes to show that, you know, you have to be careful when using that dragon fire. And I imagine it's more of a skirmish tool to begin with than anything else. And the battle has been won. So again, the ability to maybe turn the dragon off and kind of retreat it would also be a good idea, so that when you do get into that melee, you're not going to be overwhelmed and killing all your friendly soldiers. So that is going to be the first look at the dragons for the Trials of the Seven. Really, really awesome stuff. And once again, a big thank you to Block for letting me show this off. The dragon looks awesome, and I can't wait to dive in and mess around with it myself when the patch finally does drop, if it makes it into that pack. So that is going to be it for the Trials of the Seven dragon first look. I mean, it looks great. They've done a great job with it. Obviously, there is still room for improvement, but that is a functional dragon currently in the mod. And now it just comes down to the nuances of you know, of tightening up animations, kind of giving the dragon more of a dragon feel, sound effects and stuff like that. But, you know, it is a functioning unit, which is very exciting. And also just having the AI using it as well is very awesome as well. So let me know what you guys thought of it down below in the comments. Again, give your ideas for balancing it. Also, let me know if you guys want to obviously see any more updates to this. Go check out Block's channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.